Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and hello to you, madam. I'm Omar Rashid Ahmed. I'm from Somalia, currently in Somalia. I'm a second year student doing software engineering. This is the last phase and phase 4 of the project, which is going to be about high fidelity mockup. First and foremost, the system we're working on is UTM counseling. In other words, it is UTM counseling. It's for UTM counseling. In other words, it is a UTM counseling system. The system is going to offer a lot of services like counseling sessions, psychological assessment, booking appointment, which I'm currently working on, and it will be shown as a prototype later on. The system is also going to offer a lot of services which we are not going to talk about right now. This last phase out of 4 phases in designing, documenting, and developing the system. I've been personally tasked to handle a booking appointment, which we are going to put the focus on, and approving appointment. In terms of booking appointment, the client will be for example, like a student or staff will be able to log into the system and book their respective appointment with so much ease. Since we have put the booking appointment on the homepage, while booking, the client will also be able to choose his or her needed type of services that he or she would like to have, and also the client will also be able to choose his or her interest of counseling officers, which is a new improvement that we have added to the system. Since previously the client will not be able to choose the counseling officer of his interest. The stakeholders of the system are mainly the users like clients, counselor officers, admins, and managers. But we also have system developers, system engineers, and system owners, and so many other stakeholders we are not going to mention right now. We have so many goals towards the system in overall. For example, we have developing a system that is efficient and covers all the basic needs of UTM counseling, counseling, a system that is easy to use and navigate, a system that is what I see easy to use and navigate, that it means like it can be easily interactive. It can be like any person, like maybe young, old, or middle age, uh, they shouldn't have any problem using and navigating the counseling system. The system shall be easily accessible and manageable by the staff or other clients. A system that is attractive and welcoming. The system should be attractive and welcoming in a way that the client or the other or whoever is going to use the system is going to enjoy it. On the other hand, we have also goals towards each and every specific use case. But we're going to put the focus on right now on booking appointment. So the goals towards booking appointment are easy booking by the client we talked about, and we're going to talk about it later on. Easy navigation and use of the while booking, the client should be user friendly. Should be attractive, less filling of forms, because previously while booking the client could fill many forms, but right now it's just going to, we shall see actually later on, the client has to fill like 3 or 4 lines to book appointment, giving the client the power to decide his or her appointment, like choosing counseling officers and so on. uh, let me go straight into the overall graphical user interface for the use case U002 book appointment. uh, so as I said early on, this is the home page. From the home page, you can see we have book appointment. So the client will be able to book appointment from here. Just click here, it takes you to here. So you choose the type of service that you want to choose. For example, you go to psychological assessment, or the client would like to have a counseling session. So you choose the counseling session. And from here, it takes you to appointment form, whereby the client has to just put the name, email, matric number, which is optional since it is only used by the student. We also have, you choose the date and time, a type of services. You put the counseling office. This is new, so now you choose a counseling office that you want to have the counseling office. The reason we have put here is because maybe the client had like a previous session with the officer. Maybe the client enjoyed the session with the officer, so he or she wants to go back to the same officer. So the client chooses the same officer that he had, or maybe the client never enjoyed the session with the officer, so he or she wants to change the officer. So that's why we're giving the option here, because previously the client could just be assigned to any officers without the client's knowledge. So this is the overall use case. Well, after submitting, you get this. You have successfully submitted your appointment. Please check your email for further information and further verification. So we have the use case diagram here. We're just going to skip over it. We're going to skim over it. Just of course, there's nothing much to talk about. We're going to basically be talking about book appointment and this use case here, whereby after book appointment, the client fills a form uh, like name, email, and stuff like that, and choose and select type of services, counselor officer, date and time. You know, this is the second time I'm recording this video, and I'm trying to talk very quickly because that video was too big, so that's why I'm kind of getting stuck or maybe staggering a little, stammering a little bit. So after book appointment, we have an alternative. You can also scan QR code, then it takes you here, then you fill the form. So we have these two. This is the normal flow, and this is the alternative flow that you can take. So basically, we are going to talk about the normal flow. Maybe we shall see the alternative another time. So we are going to talk deeply about we are going to talk deeply about the use case specification right now. So the use case specification, which the prototype or the high fidelity mockup I'm working on is based on. So the first one of the use case right now we are working on is 2.0. We have fixed and made some changes, like fix normal flow and add alternative flow. These are the changes we have made. The use case ID is U002, as I said earlier on this book appointment, as signed by me, updated by me, changed by me, everything by me. The description, uh, this is mainly used by clients to book appointment. The client can be staff, student, or maybe someone from outside within community. The client needs to be logged into the system. In case, so, like for example, like for the client to book the appointment, the client needs to be logged into the system. Another way, you cannot book appointment if you are not in the system. So it's must for the client to be logged into the system. Uh, the system displays homepage. The client chooses book appointment. After you choose book appointment, the system displays a detailed form to be filled. The client fills the form, chooses date, time, type of services, council officer. So this AF2, which happens here, which is here, you scan QR code from the Facebook page. So it takes you to here. Then you follow the same steps from here. That is the alternative flow we have. Uh, from here, we also have an exceptional flow whereby the user enters invalid information, the system displays error, and if a normal flow is executed again. What I mean is, for example, here, instead of putting like instead of instead of filling these forms, you just press submit. The system will display error, and I'll tell you to fill it again, or to take you back to the normal flow. You have to follow it all over again. So maybe you have put in like invalid name, or maybe you have put invalid email, or maybe you have chosen you have put some like invalid name here, or you have so basically whatever you put here is going to be assessed by the system, and it's going to if you put some invalid information, it's going to display error and take you back to the normal flow. You have to flow the normal flow all over again. After that, uh, the client chooses submit appointment, or if not, the client chooses to cancel. So if you cancel the appointment, the system returns to home page. The use case is aborted. Otherwise, the use case is successfully the appointment is made successfully. Let me show you how that works. So you can either choose a submit appointment whereby the appointment will be made successfully, and you will see receive this message. If you cancel, the use case is going to be aborted. Then it will take you back. It will take you back to the home page. Uh, as I said, if you the use case will be aborted. Otherwise, the client successfully does the booking, so the booking will be made successfully. We have related requirements that are related to the booking appointment. First and foremost, we have functional requirements here. The user shall be able to set appointment at counseling center. That is a must. The system shall be able to generate staff schedule and appointments. What I mean, for example, like the system will be able to show the clients, for example, which counseling officer or which staff will be working at what time, so that the whatever the client can make informed appointment or informed decision towards making appointment. The counseling system will be able to allow users to choose their counseling staff or book an appointment. That's the letter we have just added. The counseling system shall have limited number of appointments per day. So that maybe, for example, this way a function requirement. This is a constraint requirement. It's going to have a limited number of appointments per day, so that the staff or the counseling officers are not overwhelmed, not so that the officers can do not get tired while working. So we have limited number of appointments per day. We also have another functional requirement. The counseling system shall allow staff to view clients' information and data for reference. For example, an officer can see the data of the client, so that he or she can use it for reference while handling the client. Maybe the client needs this whatever, and maybe the client needs some advice. Maybe the client is stressed, so, and wants to have like so it's going to the data of the client will be shown to the will be accessed, will be available to the officers or the staff of the UTM counseling system, so that they can use it for reference. And this is the activity diagram. The activity diagram, the use case diagram, the use case specification, the prototype, they are all following the same flow. So I'm just gonna just let me talk about it actually for briefly. So as I said earlier on, we have a normal flow, we have an alternative flow. So basically, if you put you book appointment, the normal flow here we have is after you click on book appointment, it takes you to fill appointment. You select the date and time. After that, you submit the appointment. From here, we have the approving appointment, which you're not going to talk about. So for the alternative flow, you scan the QR code. It takes you to here. You fill out the form. You select date and time and submit the appointment. So that is the normal flow and the alternative flow. From here, in approved appointment, the clerk confirms the appointment, schedule sends appointment details about the appointment to the client. Uh, Personally, I can say that so many things I've gained. There are so many experiences that I've acquired over the course and while doing the project, which was based on the customer system. But unfortunately, due to the limited time, I cannot mention all of them. So I'm basically gonna skim over the most important ones, like identifying both functional requirement and non-functional requirements for the system to be developed was one of the first things we did in the course, and this were helpful since everything revolves around it. Functional requirement and non-functional requirement must be identified requirements when developing the system, because without them they cannot a system cannot actually function. Draw the use case diagram, activity diagram, state diagram, domain model, sequence diagram, and so many other diagrams which we learned and applied them in phase one and phase two, phase three, and phase four, which is the last phase here. For example, use case diagram, we just talked about it, and activity diagram. These are very helpful, because without them, you cannot make whatever use case specification. You cannot make a prototype or high fidelity mockup. Writing use case specification was also one of the skills that I acquired, and also writing and enhancing the use. For example, in phase two, we only drew easy and normal use case specification, but in phase three, we have to make it. We have to make an advanced and improved and enhanced use case specification. And the use case specification is very important, and it's very important and very useful, because when designing a prototype, actually when I was designing this prototype, I had to reference the use case specification. The normal flow had to match and must match the use case, the whatever the flow of the prototype must match the normal flow or the alternative flow of the flows of the use case specification. So this is very important, because without use case specification, you cannot actually make a prototype. How to document a system, for example, for a system to be developed, like writing a URD, for example, was one of the things that I've acquired and learned from while doing the project. Because right now I kind of feel like I can write a document or can document a system. Uh, those are some of the techniques that I've acquired and attained over the course of while doing the project. But those are not only things that I've learned while doing the project. There are also like leadership skills that I've acquired. I was the leader in my group, so the leadership skills that I've acquired. I can say there are many qualities a leader should possess, but there are some specific qualities that really have impact that had real impact on my team members. For example, leading by example. This attribute was a major quality that led to huge impact in my team. That is to say, for example, like in my team, I was the leader. They were kind of lazy, so had to try to write like a perfect work and produce it before the deadline or ahead of the deadline, so that they can follow from there. They can see how it should done, so that they can try to do as perfect as mine, or even do better. And also deliver things before deadline, so that we don't rush things towards the deadline. Also, good communication. Having good communication can really improve the project and reduce tension among the team. For example, like in my team, uh, in the beginning we had so much tension because we could not talk, we could not communicate, we had so much difficulties. But after a while, when we communicated, we had good interaction. The tension had gone and the tension was reduced. We could work together, laugh together, and do so much things. Furthermore, in this last phase, we mainly we are mainly putting the focus on high fidelity mockup, which was basically based on the normal flow of advanced use case specification we designed in phase 3 activity diagram, also which we designed in the previous phase. In other words, high fidelity mockup prototype is only possible if this use case diagram to design a prototype for. See, that's why if the prototype is all connected to the use case diagram we drew, the activity diagram we did, the use case specification, most importantly, the use case specification normal flow, because the prototype had to have the flow of the use case specification. If this there's also use case specification showing how the system should flow. As I said earlier on, it's only possible if there's also use case specification flow or flows showing how the prototype should flow. As I said, the flow of the prototype must match the flow of the use case. Otherwise, it will not work. That is to say, one can say how the system is going to flow, how it's going to flow from one can say actually like I'm sorry, I'm getting so nervous right now. You know, the system flow is gonna basically be the prototype flow is gonna basically be the flow of the normal flow. So use case diagram, activity diagram, use case specification are all connected to the prototype. So the prototype cannot be developed without the use case, mainly the use case specification, which cannot be developed if there is no use case diagram an activity diagram. And in conclusion, there's so much I've gained and there's so much I've acquired. Actually, there are many things that I would like to mention, but due to the limited time, I cannot mention. And I'm grateful for all of those things. This is my group members working together. This is me. This is Fuad. This guy is from Somalia. Ahmed Sharif from Egypt. This guy is from Egypt. So it was kind of like two Somalis first two choices, but hopefully we did great and everything was okay. Uh, this is the prototype demo. Let me just go directly into the website and I can show you how the system is going to work. The system is actually very easy to use. I can say it's attractive, but this is from here. Maybe whoever is going to charge, whoever is going to use can say it's attractive or not attractive. But I can really say it's very easy to use because from the homepage here, one has to just go to the book appointment, maybe choose psychological assessment and counseling. For example, let us choose the counseling session. Then it takes you to the form. You have to fill the form. Let me take us to a form that has been filled. Now this is my name, my email. You choose the counseling session and you choose the counselor officer. I mean the type of service. Then you choose the counselor officer. Then you click on submit. After submitting, you come here. You can also cancel. If you cancel, it takes you back to the whatever. It takes you back to the homepage. That is the prototype demo we have. This is the link if you want to try. In conclusion, this course has offered me personally so much, and I can proudly say that I've learned so many things over the course that are really helpful. In a way, I'm starting to feel like a software engineer or developer. That is because I've been able to prepare, document, and even design a prototype that is kind of feels like interactive, and that's why I feel like software engineering right now. All that is left is to write a functioning code that is interactive and can be used. It's not only that, but also I've been like grouply done. I was overseeing the project in the beginning. Actually, in the beginning, I wanted to change my group, but the teacher told me to stick with my group, and I'm thankful for that because it actually helped me boost my leadership skills. This is all thanks to Madam Dr. Sharisa Abdi, who is right now who's doing Hajj right now. I hope Allah accepts your Hajj, who was so kind, understanding, and had an outstanding and formidable explanation of the system stuff. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is all from Omar Rashid Ahmed. See you again, inshallah.